Hello, welcome. I'm Tim and this is TimBatSea. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we are in Stapleton Anchorage right here. Verrazano Bridge is right here. We're going to go up in the Kills and go up around up to Port Newark with this barge. Problem is, it's blowing a gale right now. You see the white caps over there? It's saying right now 29, 30, 32. We've been seeing 40, 48 gusting over here. Now the good news is that the barge is not empty. If the barge is empty, this would be definitely a no-go. But because the barge is loaded, it's got product on it. It's not loaded fully, but it's got product on it. I'm gonna try to get out of here and get up there and see what I gotta do. So my plan is to let lines go from the stern to the bow. And my big thing is I got to keep the bow into the wind till we get up to the Kills. When we get to the Kills, I'm hoping that the land, as we get closer to the land, the wind will be better up there. So then, in the event that I get turned into the wind and the bow takes off, I won't be able to stop that. If it's blowing 40 or 50 knots, I can't stop it. So then, in a defensive move, the only thing I can do is let the bow go around and do what we call putting the wheels to the wind. And that means we just hold there until the cavalry arrives. So that's what we're gonna go for. Hopefully there won't be anything to report today. This one has me a little concerned, but it is what it is. The line go, the one on the side of there, the bow's going to take right off. So take that, there you go, he's taking that one in. Wait until there's a man standing on that, let it go, and I'll try to peel off. If it goes in the water, that's fine.
Whatever you like to get across, it's fine, but I'm turning the board now.
Alright, second to last line's on deck, let's start working ahead.
Alright, here we go. Alright, boys are down to one line.
Yeah, but Barry, just left St. George, I'll see you on two, Captain.
And the good news is it looks like I have a plan B.
Anchor's on the other side.
Alright, I appreciate that. Thank you for looking. I have a plan B. I asked dispatch for some help and they were going to try to find some for me. And this might go alright, but if it goes bad, it's going to go horribly bad. So I'd rather err on the side.
Line is in the water and they're heaving.
Alright, I'm gonna roll the bow out and the stern in. And I can see everything back here and it is what it is. So I gotta do what I gotta do to try to get us into the wind.
Yeah, I copy you.
Okay, so I'm doing a hard right twist right now, trying to get that bow to move out, and it's going.
Bow's 15 and opening.
Very good. And the problem.
That's good. Bow's 15 and opening, and our headline's on deck.
Outstanding. Good job, guys. So I can't just drive ahead because the wind will drive me into the side of the ship. So I got to get more pointed into the wind.
The stern is still touching the ship.
Yeah, we got a rope fender in there, so we should be good. And our new guy, Cameron, who just started with us the other day, I told him to go and find out what side the anchor was on. And the reason why I did that was because I want to, if the anchor was on our side, I'd have to worry about falling down onto the anchor line when I came ahead. Alright, so now we're doing pretty good. I'm going to start squaring my rudder up and start coming ahead. And hopefully we'll be able to pull this off. Alright, here we go. We are hooked up and hard over. Security call, Tug Anacostia, getting underway ship side in Stapleton. Going to be bound up for the Kills in berth 51. Okay, so
Come in on the Anacostia from Stephen Day.
83 Alpha Cap.
83 Alpha it is.
Alright, so that's my plan B. Things are working right now. We're going to call it 1815 underway.
Alright,
here with you.
All right, good deal. You're gonna be my plan B. If I get set sideways, I won't be able to get her back into the wind. And so right now everything's going good, but famous last words. So you just kind of do what you got to do over there, and then follow along with us. And hopefully we won't need you at all. But if we need you, you're gonna be our plan B.
Roger.
You need us to stand by in case they want a line there, Tim?
Say again?
You want us to stay on the barge in case they need a line?
Which way?
No. Not yet. Everything's going good so far, and once we get up to the kills, I'll have him on the other side of me so that he can push me up into the wind if we get to go.
Alright, we're coming back to the boat.
Very good. Okay, now I see a cruise ship coming at us.
Yeah, I thought this wind was going to drop out, but it's picked right back up again.
Yeah, it has. Okay, let me call this ship Viking Star Anacostia.
Go ahead, Anacostia.
Yeah, Cap, I'd like to see you on 2. Give you plenty of room over here. Just getting underway from the ship ahead of you here. So on 2 works for you. That's going to work for me.
Yeah, that's fine, Captain. Yeah, thanks.
All right, have a safe. Hopefully you get off that thing safely tonight.
Thanks, Cap. Appreciate it.
Robbie Burton, new house.
Everybody, thank you.
Traffic from the Anacostia. We're underway at this time.
Southbound ferry approaching the KB, whatever you like, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit in case I need the engines.
Copy that one with
Viking Star, 28 fully in bearage, heading out on proceed.
There you go, Governor.
Robert Burton, on a range heading for southwest looking. You Gravesend. Sub, your name.
There he goes, Elf River.
Heading for East River. Yeah, another boat.
You on the one or what?
Very good. Good copy on all. Thank you.
One, I'll keep it real tight. Once I pass the North River here, I'll come back right again. Try to keep it as tight as degree as possible for you.
Yeah, Roger on that, no problem.
I think they're all
On the Stephen Dan, when you get down behind me, maybe you just follow along on my stern, so she goes one way or goes the other. I can send you up that side to push.
Put you all up and runs. What'd you say, buddy? The old radio cut you that way, old radio.
Yeah, no problem, man. Once you come by me, just follow along on my stern. So if she blows one way, I can put you on that side. If she blows the other way, I put you on that side. You know?
All right, buddy. That's what I'll do. I'll take your stern.
All right. Thank you so much. You have relieved the stress. I was all wigged out. If this went bad, I wouldn't have another option. But you're my other option.
There you go.
We're back on the boat.
All right, good job out there, guys. Thank you for making that fast. If that would have taken a long time, that could have gotten much uglier. All right. So now the closer I get to land, the less what we call fetch. In other words, how much distance there is where the wind is not broken up by anything. You know, meaning, you know, like things on shore. So the closer I get to the shore with the wind coming off, we should see, hopefully, a reduction of wind. The problem is that it won't be coming right at me anymore, but it will be coming at this direction, right on my beam, which is kind of really dangerous for me. However, a weird phenomenon seems to happen when you go in rivers and big channels and stuff like that, and that's that the wind usually likes to go the path of least resistance. And I know that sounds strange, and it's not 100%. I'm just saying that although the wind right now is coming at, I don't know, it seems like the waves are coming this way, but my anemometer is saying the wind is coming this way, like this. And so when I go into the kills, and I make that turn up there, first of all, I'll be counting on less wind because of the land hopefully breaking everything up. But I'll also be thinking that the wind will kind of blow up and down the kills, and then when we go up Newark Bay, it will go up and down the bay as well. And it's not 100%, but it just seems to follow the, you know, it kind of gets in the groove there. You can see the waves coming over the bow. That's why those guys didn't want to stay out there. We're making 5.9 knots hooked up going into this, and you can see it's It's funny, they've been having these sailboat races in here for the last all weekend long, and there were those foil boats, you know, those boats that lift right out of water. It's like, it's blowing like 15, 20 knots. They're going like 40 or 50 knots. They're amazing. They go faster than the wind. But boy, wouldn't it have been nice if they had this kind of wind? They would have been able to set some New York speed records, that's for sure. But they're not here today. It is blowing. And my heart goes out to this poor little guy up here. This is a guy in a trash barge. You'll see where the ferry is up ahead of us, and then just right in back of the ferry there's a trash barge. And what that is, those are containers full of trash, and they go back and forth. And that poor guy, that thing's a big sail, and he can't see anything because he doesn't have an upper hose.
They want me to move a barge tonight. They better hope this wind drops there.
Yeah, roger that. That's that's what I'm thinking. That's the assist.
Hey, Mary, Caracama traffic.
You might have heard me talk to the pilot, saying that I wish him luck disembarking. He's going to have to go out there. Hopefully they'll make a little lee for him, and then he's going to have to get on the pilot boat and come back home. There's my assist tug. Kind of weird. Looks like we're out at sea. Doesn't look like we're in the harbor. Oh, the wind's doing better. We're down to 28 knots right now, so that's. I'll take every knot less. I will take it. I think it's 40, 45, 46, like it was before. I was like, oh man, if this goes wrong. So once again, I don't know if I explained that properly, but the technique we use if we get into trouble, and this you should know this if you have a recreational boat as well. If you ever get caught in something where you can't, what they call, you can't round up into the wind. In other words, the wind is blowing so hard you can't put the bow, because obviously you want the bow into the wind and the seas. And if you can't do that, and you're getting blown down onto a lee shore, 1850. If you can't do that, one of the techniques we use when all else goes wrong is what we call putting the wheels to the wind. And basically, because the bow is up there, and especially on a recreational boat, there's not a lot of weight in the bow. Boats usually are deeper in the stern. So when the wind blows them, the bow will take off like this. And then if you just back, doesn't matter if you're single screw or twin screw or anything, if you just back when it's blowing like this, your boat's going to end up to be like a wind vane. And you're gonna blow. The bow will point downwind, and the stern or your wheels will point into the wind. And you wouldn't want to go anywhere that way. But if you're blowing down, like if I were blowing down on the shore and I had to call in the cavalry, what I would do is put my wheels to the wind to kind of buy me some more time until some help showed up. So put that in the back of your head if you didn't know that technique already. Hopefully we will never have to do that, but that's something there. This kind of gives you an idea. These destroyer links on the chain over here, as heavy as that is, that ship is being pulled back on all that wind, lifting all that chain right out of water. It's getting better all up. 35 knots, maybe not so better right here, but feels better anyway. I'm really happy. But like I say, if I went 90 degrees to the wind right now, I'd have a very, very difficult time getting back. And being that the barge is loaded and she's actually handling, this is a famous last words, I'm going to jinx myself, but she's actually handling better than I expected. And so if I if I got, oh, look at that, the companion ladder just blew over. Didn't blow over the side, it just got knocked down. But if I had to try to round up into the wind, I might be able to do it, but what would happen is I wouldn't be able to just go burp like that. I'd burn up a ton of real estate where I'm like crabbing sideways for a mile or so before I do that. And sometimes you can't do that because you run out of water, or there's another anchored ship in the way or something like that. So got to make sure you have all these things planned out. Now, just to give you an idea over here, I'm trying to get that. think it's, there we go, the frame rate, get it right. Anyway, we got to get in here and around here. I'd like to come around like I'm doing now, but I'm actually going to go up further up here so that when I turn, if the wind starts blowing me down, I've got more room to recover on this side. If I come over here and fall in there, the assist tug won't even be able to get in there. You won't have water to get in there to help me out. I imagine the way this looks on camera, you guys are like, this just looks like any other job. I don't know what you're so wigged out about. It's funny how some things really show up on camera, like my girth. They say, you know, the camera adds 45 pounds. I think that's the reason why I look a little heavy. But it certainly doesn't do that to the elements. Waves never look as big on camera as they do in real life. So we're chugging along. Everything's going good. I'm not using a whole lot of rudder, which is good, because if I was using a whole lot of rudder, that may mean I wouldn't have a lot of rudder left to use if I got into trouble.
Traffic down, check out, thank you.
So VTS puts 25 knot wind restrictions in New York Harbor, and when it blows 25 knots or higher, you can't leave a barge, a bunker barge, unattended at a ship. You have to be alongside, and there's another one too. I don't know if it's at 30 knots or 35 knots or something, but whenever the next one is, they say tugs alongside and running. So you got to have your engines on, even if you're just sitting there tied to the ship. But in our case, we stayed with them because it's been blowing all day. It was blowing a good 25 knots when Luke came in here, and it certainly didn't lay down. Oh, I see one of my comrades over there. Oh yeah, that's my old boat. The old boat I used to be on. He's coming across the harbor. Hope he does all right. He's got a smaller barge, but he's got 1,200 horsepower less. But the captain on that boat is really good. He should be dialed in just fine. All right, so if something happens, I'll turn the camera back on, but, well, you know what? Maybe you can stay with me while we make this turn. We can see if the wind starts turning. Yeah, actually, when I go down the range, I think I'm going to be aiming right at the wind. My anemometer is dialed in right, pointing right at about, I'd say, 10:30 or 11, and that's exactly the direction we're going to want to go. So that should be good. All right, I'm going to shut you off, and when something exciting happens, which hopefully won't happen at all, I'll turn the camera back on. Or otherwise, I will see you at the other end. You can see us docking. All right, we're back. Pretty uneventful trip. Luckily, we had enough product on the barge that the barge handled phenomenally well. You see this guy right here on our starboard side, our right side. Gonna need a hand right after we get done over here, but I think I'm gonna send our helper, my plan B, probably go over and help him out as soon as we're done here. Yeah, so the way these things roll, if you don't ask for help, it gets really bad. We asked for this guy just to hang out just in case, and everything worked out really well. Of course, we're not tied up yet. Things could still go horribly wrong, but generally speaking, we had enough product on the barge that everything worked really well. I'm doing 7.1. That barge up there ahead of us is where we're going to go alongside. I've called the barge, and they're going to be out there to catch lines from us. Called my deckhand to make sure that he gets ready. And I'm going to start reducing power so we can start slowing down. Funny, some of these jobs you get a little stressed out about when they're all over. You're like, why was I worried about that? That wasn't any big deal. On the Steve and Dan, I'm going to have you just come up here without a line and push us over when we get up there. I think we'll get a little bit of wind blowing off the dock, but I'll get her slowed down before we do that.
Alright, you say you gonna want a line?
Nah, I don't think so.
Alright, bud. I'll get you about midship then.
Perfect. Like I say, no hurry, you know, until I get up there. You don't have to come in until I get her right alongside, you know.
Roger.
Alright, we're down to 6 knots. I'm taking her out of gear. Got enough product in this barge to keep us rolling for a long time. And you can see how the wind has dropped out. It's probably still blowing in the harbor, but we're only showing 14.8, 15.2 knots right up here. And because of all the cranes and everything else, the land and all that, you can see things are not so bad right here at all. So that's good. So right now, what I'm trying to do is I want to get flat up against the barge, you know, and then have the assist tug push us over. But right now, I just want to close the distance so he doesn't have to push us too far. There's a little bit of the wind right now is blowing right about, I'd say, from about at the 2 o'clock angle, if straight ahead was 12. So we'll have a little bit of wind blowing us off. And remember that I've said this in other videos, but the wind has much more of an effect on a light barge than a loaded barge. But nevertheless, when it blows hard, it's gonna do something. So we're down to 4.6 knots. I've just put one in gear just because I was falling off a little bit. So I want to come in a little tighter to the barge. Take it out of gear again. I'd like to be about 3 knots right now. So I'm going to put both of them astern right now. Straighten out my rudder. Try to bleed off a little bit of speed. I'm going to put my rudder hard to port so that I can come ahead after I get some speed off here. I'll come ahead on my starboard engine. Okay, I'm going to start backing harder on my port engine, and I'm going to start twisting now to get that bow around so we don't crash into the barge. Nothing's really happening. There, she's starting to move now. Alright, that's why we do it before. Alright, good deal. We're down to 3.3 knots. Gone all stop. The bow's rolling out, stern's rolling in. I'm going to straighten my rudder so that the bow doesn't continue to come out.
Alright, once we get to bottom, we'll be about a barge width from them.
Very good. Okay, so my rudder is hard to starboard right now. I'm going to put in my port engine just to kind of
overlap the stern.
try to keep that bow from falling out anymore. Doing 3 knots, so I'm going to put both of them astern right now and start backing because I'm going to go right by this guy. I'll never get him stopped. Got the rudder straight and backing me.
40 wide.
And I am hooking it up astern to try to get some way off of this thing. Okay, that's working. That's working.
The bow to overhang and the stern to overhang.
Let's line the bows up together because they got to put that other 50 up ahead of us.
Roger that, you're 25 wide with the bow.
Alright. So I'm down to 1.7 now. I'm all stopped, just coasting up there. Alright, on the Stephen Inn, you can work your way over here.
Coming in.
Put my rudder hard to port. I'm going to do a left twist. I'm going to back harder on my engine because I'm down to 1.4 knots and I'm probably almost right about in position.
20 wide on the bow.
How much further ahead can I come?
Another 15, I think you'll have your bows lined up here.
Alright, good. Alright, get down to a knot. And maybe less than that. Okay, now he's going to be pushing the bow over much. I should have told him to come further back, but that's okay. I'll just twist against him.
In position, just let me know what you need.
Okay, why don't you give me clutch on 1?
Clutching on 1.
Alright, we're still 20-25 wide on the bow, probably 30 on the stern.
Alright, you can give me clutch on 2.
On 2.
And I'm twisting against him, so that's why I'm having him give more power. And you can see the bow is still going to the left. Once the bow gets checked up and starts coming to the right, I'll have him reduced down to 1. I'm going to go all stop.
Alright, 25 flat at the moment.
Very good. He might not have as much power as I was thinking. So I'm putting my rudder hard starboard and doing a right twist now to try to slow my stern down and speed up the bow, because he still isn't able to push that over. Not just because I'm not used to working with him. I can ask him for more power, but I'd rather have him keep everything constant.
We're slowly creeping ahead. We're still 25 wide on the bow and 20 on the stern.
Alright, do you like where we're at, or you want me to start working back or working forward, or just bring her in like this?
Just bring her in. You might have 5 or 10 feet of barge overhanging the bow, you'll be fine.
Very good. Okay, so now I'm putting my rudder hard to port and I'm doing a left twist because he's caught up with me. Alright, on the Stephen Dan, why don't you go down to 1?
20 up and down.
Just 1 in clutch now on the Stephen Dan. Yeah, maybe he's not hearing me. So in this case, since we're going nice and slow, I will, I've gone all stop.
Up and down.
I'm letting him catch up with me. And you can go all stop on the Stephen Dan.
Very slowly, but
All stop.
we're going to be okay. Might have you back 5-7 feet after you get flat.
Alright.
We're 10 wide up and down.
Now I'm just backing right now.
Navigator, go ahead.
Okay, and I'm going to do my left
5 to
twist.
go on the bow, 7 on the stern.
I'm going to do a hard left twist to slow that bow down.
Alright, try to flatten your bow, flatten out just a little bit, your bow's out on the stern. They got small yokies on that thing.
Alright. There we go. That seemed to work.
Your bow's about to touch up, looks like your stern's got 4 feet to go.
Alright, clutch on 1 on the Stephen Dan.
Clutching on 1.
Now I'm doing a left twist to twist against him to hold my stern in. Well, it was 4 off, so now we're just about there. Putting the lines out there. Oh, everything's great. Big sigh of relief now.
Alright, your bow's almost closed up. We got your first line out. If you needed to work ahead, you could.
No, I'm just going to have him hold us right here. Clutch on 2.
On 2.
Alright, we'll lace it up.
Alright, good deal.
I'll have a loaded hopper coming back here.
Roger, yeah, for now you got a loaded stone going back over to Greenville, 280 by 10.
So I'm watching my stern. If my stern starts to come out a little bit, I've got the rudder already hard to port, and I can twist against it if I got to. Looks like it's okay.
Eastbound, help throw up Snake Bridge. Quinn Ames approaching.
I've just turned up the traffic channel because I've got to check out with them.
Good copy on all traffic. Good copy on all. Thank you, sir.
Looks like somebody else was talking over him. We'll wait a second to see if that guy calls again. Traffic from the Anacostia, we're all secure. Berth 51, you can check me out.
Anacostia checked out. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too, sir. All right. Wow. Pretty happy that one went so well. But I gotta tell you, I'm not a superstitious man, but I think that guy right there is the reason why everything went well. I guarantee if he wasn't around there, I would have had a big problem. Like I say, I didn't even use him coming off the ship or going up the harbor and through the kills and making my turn at Bergen Point. Everything worked out well, but that's just because he was there. If he wasn't there, I bet it would have been blowing twice as hard. That's usually how it goes. But listen, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I would love it if you did all that YouTube stuff. And please help me out on my other channel. I'm really trying to get that thing going here. SV Paquita, put a link in below.
This one?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, I just got underway here. I guess, mind if I grab the Stephen Dan whenever you're ready?
Yeah, in fact, we can do that right now. Stephen Dan, why don't you go and go help out the Fort Schuyler. I thank you so much, Cap. If you need times, let me know. If you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah, man, don't worry about it.
You're the man. All right, so to hold me in.
Dan, we'll be working 88 Alpha.
So,
All right, going to 88 Alpha.
So because
and you can stay right up there.
okay, so since he's not pushing on me anymore, I've gone into a twist right here. The rudder hard over this way, starboard engine ahead, port engine back, and that's going to hold us up because the wind's going to blow us off the dock a little bit, and they've got the bow tied up, so this will keep us pressed up until we're good to go. Thank you so much. Big shout out to my patrons, and if you guys want to support the channel, you can head on over to Patreon, put a link in below, and patrons get all kinds of cool things like early release videos and special private content and ad-free content too. Anyway, if you don't, it's totally cool. Love that you guys watch. You guys take care, be safe, as always. I'll see you on the one.